Our third Outstanding Teacher and Mentor Award is presented to Denee Hartung.
She's like one of those teachers you can really relate to, one student says of AMS 7-8 science instructor Denee Hartung. He adds, her hands-on teaching is the best. Ms. Hartung is a longtime science and project lead the way instructor at AMS 7-8. Students say that her style of teaching is what has engaged them in science and even caused them to consider the field as a career. Her organizational and communication skills are recognized as classroom assets and also as key among her peers. Ms. Hartung's nomination applauded her for being a very organized teacher. A longtime substitute teacher in her classroom said, "There was never a time I stepped into her classroom that I didn't feel fully prepared to teach the subject matter for the day. Her devotion to preparation time for her classes allows students to never miss a beat." She was acknowledged for her devotion to keeping up with the latest teaching techniques relating to science instruction. Her passion for science ignites the same passion in students, say AMS 7-8 colleagues. She has formed several clubs outside the classroom to encourage students to learn more about science and explore its theories and principles. She is also a mentor and committed to help students learn. Students spend time at lunch or after school in her classroom where she is available to help with homework. In a letter of support for Ms. Hartung, AHS 10th grader Devin Daniels says that until she met Ms. Hartung, she had no idea of what she wanted to do in a career. Now she wants to pursue either mechanical or architectural engineering. Being introduced to building model rockets, bridges, and race cars got her hooked. So much so, she and her grandfather continue to build model rockets together. Ms. Hartung, a 1981 alum of Adrian High School, began her teaching career at APS in 1985 as an elementary school teacher. She has been teaching at AMS 7-8 for 10 years. She is a graduate of Adrian College with a Bachelor of Arts degree and holds a master's degree in the art of teaching from Marygrove College. She is trained in Project Lead the Way and the Michigan Department of Transportation Civil Engineering for Teachers program. Ms. Hartung has served on the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math STEM Committee with the Lenawee Intermediate School District and other science committees within the Adrian School District.
Congratulations, Denee, on being selected one of Adrian Public Schools' Outstanding Teacher and Mentors. Please come forward and accept your award.
See, my one dress is getting a lot of use today. I noticed that. Totally forgot they were in that day, but okay. I too am very honored and privileged to be up here right now. I've had so many wonderful opportunities in Adrian Public Schools, and I thought I'd share a few with you tonight. I've had wonderful administrators. I've had 9 different administrators, a few more than you, Jill. Excellent, all of them. And colleagues. I've been to numerous schools and have had wonderful teachers. Parents have been so supportive. And best of all, the students. The students are definitely what keep us going. They keep us at least feeling young most days. And in fact, I wanted to share, if I were, one of the things I would say is a teacher needs to smile. And I was thinking back about a student, Sally, when I was teaching 2nd grade many years ago. And there was a project that we were working on, and it was going to go out in the hallway. So large posters each student was creating. And the night before, I went out and got some new markers. I guess that's high tech back then. Also dates me a little bit. But the markers were kind of interesting because they were the smelly markers. And so I bought 8 different sets because we set up in groups, and I was walking around checking, seeing how things were going. and I noticed Sally out of the corner of my eye, and I'm not sure, but I thought she was licking them. So I started making my way over to the table, and she was really working hard, and I was looking down at her, and she had her head down, and she was coloring all, beat the band. And I said, Sally, I leaned down and I said, I think that's the best poster in the whole class. And she looks up at me, and she smiled from ear to ear, and she had every color of the rainbow on her lips and on her tongue. A lot of times, and any teacher that's in here right now, a lot of stories, you can't make this stuff up. All right, so I want to especially thank the Adrian Education Foundation. I've been known to get a few grants in my day, and in fact, I added some of them up, and it was well over $10,000. So I would like to share a few of the projects with you that their generosity made possible. In some of the elementary classes, I taught a lot of life science. One of the cool projects that we did was, in order to teach metamorphosis incomplete and complete metamorphosis, I would buy the pupa, and we would, and different eggs, and the kids would get a chance over a few weeks to see how the insects would grow, and in the spring we would let them go, had a little celebration, and that was a really fun, exciting time for the elementary kids. Later on, when I got a chance to teach just science now, I've had a lot of opportunity to do, we did race cars, and in race cars we were teaching the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy. Sure beats out of a book, that's for sure. We've done race cars, we've done hot air balloons, and just recently this year I received a grant for a rocket club, and we launched today in back of Alexander. And Mr. Peterson, I haven't hit any of your kids yet, I promise. We'll keep it safe. So without their generosity, again, all of those would not have been possible. I also wanted to share another kind of memory about the students and questions. Students never stop to amaze me about some of the questions that they will ask. And over the years, with science teaching, especially in the middle school, you'd be amazed at some of the questions that I've gotten. And they always make me smile again. And there was one, though, that hit a three-pointer with me. This one just scored way over the top. So as I received an email from Kay Allingham the day before this lesson, and asking me if she could come in and bring some visitors in. And I said, come ahead, she's come in before. Kay is an excellent colleague. If I were to limit all the people I could say thank you to, we would be up here way too long. So many wonderful colleagues in Adrian, so many wonderful teachers. So Kay said, I have a couple visitors, can they come in? Sure, we're going to be doing hands-on. I said, FYI, we happen to be dissecting frogs that day. And she said, well, that won't bother them at all, so come ahead. So I said, okay. We were in the middle of the dissection, and hear a little knock on the door, and Kay walks in, and I smile. She smiles at me, and she walks to the back of the classroom. And I watched 1, 2, not 3, 4, not 4, 5, 6, 7 people come in. And I just watched them. They all walked in the back. And the interesting thing about these visitors, she didn't mention to me that they were delegates from the sister city, Moriyama, Japan. They were all men, They were dressed in suit and tie, and so dignified. And she just smiled at me, and I looked at her, smiled back, and I thought, oh, she's going to owe me a big one after this. And anyway, I got through the lesson, and right before I said, okay, are there any questions? And Frankie hurries and raises his hand and says, Miss Hartung. I said, okay, Frank, you got a question, what is it? He said, where's the anus? And I coughed, because I didn't know what to do. And if you've ever seen the movie Lost in Translation, so I look in the back of the classroom, and Kay is trying not to burst out. And I was still kind of coughing up in the front of the classroom. And I noticed in the back of all the delegates from Japan had made a football kind of huddle. And Kay was trying to explain to them in her best Japanese what the word anus translated into. Anyway, we got through the lesson, and yes, I did answer that question. As was stated before, I am a very proud Adrian Maple alum, and there are at least a couple teachers I would like to thank that made a huge difference. Joe Pullen, right? And Tom McDade, both of them excellent teachers. And after I had classes, as many as I could take from them, when I went to college, I took as many history and science classes as I could, and they're the ones that started my interest in both. All right, so I would finally like to thank my favorite supporters, my family, my mother and father, Doug, Sarah, Jennifer, and Sandy. And one last final thank you to the person who has given me a lifetime of support, my mother, Marmee. So thank you very much, and it's been an honor.